What's good, everybody? This is your boy Xae here with another episode of the Pencil Pushers Project, episode 49. Yes.
49. 49. Yes, sir.
I am here today joined by my co-host, friend, other personality, Jay. How are you doing today?
I'm good, brother. How are you?
I'm good, man. You know, I woke up at 7 this morning. I'm kind of tired, but I'm here. I'm doing better than I am last week. Last week I was sluggish. I ain't gonna lie.
Well, I mean, yeah, you just came back from the motherland, and
yeah, I was still sad. Still sort of am. It's it's like what they said. They said you get back, as soon as you get back, mass shootings.
Yeah,
which is crazy.
Yeah, you came back and I think a nigga ran into the Capitol.
Yeah,
a bunch of shootings.
Shit's been getting crazy. Shit's crazy.
Yeah, man, it's been a hell of a week, I guess, for you. I guess at least a couple weeks for you.
Yeah,
being back.
Yeah, it's been interesting getting back into the swing of things, the tune of things, and I think I'm like an angrier person when I'm here for some reason. If that makes sense, I don't know if that makes sense.
America makes you angry, man. America's stressful.
Yeah, like for real. I think now that I experienced not having stress, I actually immediately noticed it when I started getting back stressed because I think being stressed felt so normal that I never paid attention to it. And then I went stress free, and now I'm like, shit.
Yeah, I mean, that's why it's kind of good to, get away from shit for a while because you need that time to release and detox and not get overwhelmed. I think it's a lot of times with stress is people, we can deal with it only but so much. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And even if we don't necessarily blow up, we compensate with different things, whether it be you just don't take care of yourself as much. You don't go out. You don't do stuff for yourself. You kind of shift to a more mundane lifestyle sometimes. Yeah. And, that can be some of the adverse effects of stress. So, yeah, man, I definitely understand what you're going through, man. So, I got to tell you, man, we was talking about it a little bit off mic, but since I've been back healthy, by the grace of God, I've been back in the gym and really trying to get my legs together, man. It's been...
At least you're trying. What's funny? A lot of people actually don't even try to do their legs. A lot of people don't.
You know why? Because most times, if you're a guy, let's be real, the only people who really gonna knock you about your legs is like other people who work out. Mm-hmm. Like you really don't have no girls out here saying, like, damn, look at the little ass legs. Like if you have like a nice upper body, that's good enough for them.
Yeah.
If you got a nice chest, nice back, nice arms.
But what about the really fat dudes with the tiny legs? Oh man, that shit be wild.
You can't be fat and little legs.
You gotta pick one or the other.
Yeah, you gotta make a decision, Doc. Make a lot of money, I guess. So, get
That's
rich.
The key.
Get rich.
You gotta get rich at that point.
Yeah, man. So I've been going twice a week, or doing legs twice a week, I should say, and I'm now moving along to trying to get back to lifting heavy. Like this first few weeks or so, I just really been focusing on just getting my range of motion back together, my form back together. So it's been really more higher reps with just moderate weight. But now I feel like I'm comfortable with, going heavy with the squats, leg presses and shit like that.
That's good, man. So, I'm glad everything's recovering. I was telling you a story about how, like, when I was in Africa, I started losing weight. I did lose weight. I lost, like, I would say, like, 10 pounds maybe. Mm-hmm. But it was 10 noticeable pounds. And because most people lose weight and you tend not to notice.
It can be hard sometimes depending on.
But I guess this was like an obvious one, and I guess like it started with my arms getting smaller, and then my girl and her driver and one of her friends, they were just like, "Oh man, like when you first got here, both your arms were really big, but they were like, now I can see the difference. Like your left arm is smaller than your right arm," and they all was saying it.
You know what's funny? Your girl can say it.
Yeah.
Her friends can say it. The driver can't say
The driver can't say
The driver can't say it.
When
Hey, bro, put your hands on the 10 and 2.
When the driver said it, I was like, I need a change. Like, that's what did it for real.
As soon as you fire this nigga, I'm in the gym.
So
Yeah,
I've been doing everything with my left, texting with my left, and also I'm starting to realize just how much stuff is designed for right-handed people.
Welcome to my struggle, Doc.
Man,
Welcome to my struggle.
everything's designed for right-handed people. Even my damn water. I have a water bottle with the handle on it.
Yeah.
If I tried to grip it with my left and then the lid is on the side, and I'm like, what the hell? Everything's designed for.
When I was in school, one of the things I hated the most were spiral notebooks. Because I would have to write like either like this, or I have to turn the notebook to the side, move the spirals out the way,
damn.
and I have to like almost like write going downward. I used to hate it. Left-handed scissors. They used to have the green handle for left-handed scissors. I used to hate that shit. And yeah, nowadays I don't.
You think being lefty is like? Do you think it's low key prejudice? How they do lefties?
Nah, because they give us scholarships and shit. You get.
How do you that? But that's what I'm saying. It's prejudice. It's like being a minority. How they have like minority scholarships, and now they got like, oh, you're left-handed.
If I was a right-handed nigga not getting no right-handed scholarship, I'd be kind of salty. So
I'm kind of salty. That's insane. Honestly.
It balances out. I mean, there's certain inconveniences, but you know, it's funny because more often than not, you kind of find that your left hand is kind of like, or you have I say your dominant hand, because there are things I do with my right hand. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean, without really thinking about it. But yeah, it's not as bad when you get older, because you just kind of, especially now, because we move to computers, we move to
where everything needs both hands.
So it's different now. But just growing up, it was a lot of certain things that were difficult, and they made things a lot of times right for right-handed people.
Yeah.
So I think Flanders on The Simpsons, I think he used to have like a left-handed store. If I'm not mistaken, he had like a left-handed store in the mall, and then he got closed down. So
really,
yeah, if I'm not mistaken, someone will probably correct me on that. But yeah, they've had they've had things that were made for left-handed people, just back when real social justice, yeah, the true oppressed people,
the truly oppressed.
Yes, imagine being a left-handed black male
in the 90s.
it was rough.
Something I'm not trying to go back, but I am kind of go back about the stressors. One thing I think I did pick up on is that I think a lot of the stress we have here is because there's so much shit going on around us at once. And I mean, things as little as the cars going by. All the cars, everything's busy.
Well, yeah, because our brains are like computers. So as whether it be sound, sight, that's all information that we're trying to process.
Processing.
So yeah, that's why when you go on vacation, or just anywhere where it's not sound, it's not you're able to relax, because that's less work. So yeah, you come back to a busy America, you just left a nice, quiet, relaxed place. I mean, that's what I was saying earlier, just about we should be doing that every once in a while. It's good to even if you don't take a vacation, turn your phone off, turn your TV off, as you talked about information. I mean, hell, look at we got it at our fingertips now.
Yeah,
we go to social media, we go to the internet, Google. There's just so much to see, so much to, and we always talk about shows and music and stuff like that, and there's always something we're gonna miss because it's just so much of it out there.
Much. It's too much out.
So yeah, so I think there should be a level of like, all right, that's enough content for me to consume.
I was barely on Twitter over there. And Twitter's a thing over there, but I don't
doubt it. Yeah, I don't doubt it.
I was barely on Twitter. I was barely on a lot of stuff, and I was like checking my Facebook every now and then, and I'm sitting here like, shit. Like, I think I didn't realize how much stuff contributes really until like my mental until I left.
Yeah,
and it's not even it's not like it's my first time going out the country, but it's just like, I mean, I already told you, like over there it was just kind of different. But, it's something that I've been thinking about, honestly, for real.
No, man. I mean, that's, like I said, that's something that I think we all need, is just some level of some form of de-stressing, I think is always important to have, and for multiple reasons. So, all right, let's get into the first topic. Now, I purposely didn't want to mention this last week because I was hoping for the best.
Yeah.
And, we have this thing where it seems like whenever we record, there's some sort of tragedy.
And it's always on Fridays.
It's always, yeah, exactly.
It's crazy.
So, Friday night last week, DMX rushed to the hospital, had a heart attack. I was going to text you, and I was going to text you and say something about, man, if he passes away, I'm going to be, because that's kind of seems to be the thing, like when we record, somebody dies on a Friday, we record on a Saturday.
Yeah.
And the first thing we got to deal with is somebody died. So I didn't say anything. He had been in the hospital for a week. The news that I was seeing throughout the week wasn't looking good. Brain function tests, non-responsive. His organs were beginning to fail.
Yeah.
Family was going to have to make a tough decision. Ultimately, I'm assuming they took him off life support, and they released a statement announcing that. And we're referring to DMX for the listening audience. DMX, I believe his official date of passing was yesterday, Friday, April 9th. And I don't want to get into the speculations about how he passed, because I've heard conflicting reports. There have been reports that he had a heart attack from an overdose. There have been reports that he wasn't on drugs at all, and he had recently taken the vaccine, which may have had some effects because of his pre-existing health condition from previous drug use. Not going to get into that. All right. The point is, untimely death for him.
Yeah.
And
really untimely.
One of the CDs that I bought, one of the first CDs that, well, not one of the first, but one of the first that I bought, and my mom didn't take it back because she wasn't no hater, but she took it back. She bought me Busta Rhymes Extinction Level Event, and then she heard there was a bunch of cussing on it, and she took it back. But I was like, Mom, this guy prays.
He prays.
Mom, this guy prays. Leave him alone. So, I'm referring to, and then there was X. My dad had Flesh of My Flesh, and he had Darker Than Hell Is Hot. And the first CD I kind of wanted for myself from him was And Then There Was X, which had the lead single What's My Name, and What These Bitches Want was also on there. And I just always been a fan of his. I tell people, I think 90% of rappers lie. He's in the 10% of niggas who just
who just was honest. Absolutely.
Yeah. Whatever he said he did in the song, or whatever he said, I felt like
he did it.
Yeah, he was that. Far from a perfect individual. Let's be clear, and I don't think there's any mystery about that, which I think in a way kind of helped lend to people being compassionate about him, is because he didn't pretend to be a saint.
Yeah.
He dealt with issues with drugs. He dealt with issues with his family. He had, issues with, legally, child support, so on and so forth. So, we're not gonna try to pretend that he was a saint, but none of us are saints. You know what I mean? And he would say that. But I think he was a person who was transparent with that and was continuing to battle those demons in the midst of creating music around that. And I think a lot of people gravitated to that. I particularly gravitated to just that honesty and authenticity in his music and just who he was as a person. You have any favorite songs, favorite pieces of work from him?
I mean, my favorite songs are everybody's favorite songs.
I'm just saying,
of
sure.
course you had Slippin'. You had What These Bitches Want, of course. What was it? You had a Party Up, which I feel like that was kind of like it at the time. It was okay. When I look, I don't think it aged well because it felt like he was chasing a hit at that time.
Well, what's funny is I feel like it's more accepted now than it was when it came out.
Back then? Well, yeah, because back then I think people kind of knew. People knew like, oh, well, we get what y'all are doing here. But over time, it has become like a staple of his discography. Yeah, that's for sure. It's just not my personal.
No, I'm with you. I agree. I
I mean, guest verses, man. He had guest verses on some legendary songs, and it was songs where he wasn't supposed to be like the standout, because these were like songs with some. I don't even remember everything because there was so many of them. Like,
yeah,
but
yeah, I agree.
You know, the fact that he could be as damaged as he was, but still be a poet at the level he was, and the energy, like. We're never getting another DMX. It's not. That's not going to happen.
I agree.
And it's just an absolute fact, because you can't. It's certain things about his career. Even if you take away, I'm not even talking about his past. If you just look at his career, it's just certain things you can't replicate about this guy. You can't replicate the type of presence he had, and when he came on a song, the energy he brought. Like, you can't, it's stuff you just can't make up, you know? And I think, like, this was a real big loss. This is like on the level, it's not on the level when Kobe died, but I would say musically, from the music landscape standpoint, absolutely.
Yeah.
He's one of those, like, he's beyond hip hop.
What I will say is there's a clip that, well, of course, is resurfaced now. I want to say it's Woodstock, where when I say it's a sea of people, I mean, I'm sure you've seen festivals before, but
yeah,
I'm talking about a sea of people. And I want to say he's getting ready to do the Rough Riders anthem or something like that. He has on like this. He has the red overalls on, and bro, you want to talk about a fucking just crazy energy, bro. I'm saying Woodstock had a bunch of white people there too, so it wasn't like it was just, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't like it was just black people, you know, and just his ability to command a crowd. And it's funny, there's a lot of people who are cynical about Christianity, but they had enough respect for him, at least in his presence, to allow him to do things, whether it be praying or just being forthright with his belief. Yeah, without that type of pushback that I don't think I've really ever seen from a lot of other people. You know, even if they feel the way they feel about Christianity or God or whatever have you, just having that type of respect for him to not just upend his beliefs by interjecting their own.
Yeah,
which I thought was, I think is it's hard to do.
Oh, it's hard really hard to do.
It's hard to do because people can't wait to tell you they're atheist.
Yeah, people live for that shit.
They can't wait to tell you God ain't real.
That's
true. You know what I mean? And he's been pretty forthcoming. I mean, he prays at the end of his shows. So, you know, it's definitely a tough loss, man. It's definitely a tough loss. I was just listening to there's a song and then there was X is probably my favorite album. There's a song on there called Fame, and I listened to it yesterday. And you know, the hook is just kind of what do you call it, cryptic now because he's passed away. Yeah. But yeah, man, it's a tough loss, and I wish people would stop with this. Did you give him his flowers while he was here? Because if I recall, there was a verses all but 2 or 3 months ago with him and Snoop. Yeah. Giving the man his flowers. That's true. They did that. They did that for that man. So we gotta stop this shit when people die and we want to try to be these
death moderators.
Did you love him while he was here? I believe we did. When we saw the verses, there was a lot of love for DMX.
Not only
him and Snoop was practically vibing. It wasn't even like, it was like it's a verses, but it was like verses as it was intended. It's basically a highlight and a showcase of the greatness of these people.
Yeah, I do agree. We got to stop doing that.
We got to stop doing this, man. And
it's with a lot of people, because a lot of celebrities die, and every time somebody dies, they always say that. They're like, "Oh, well, did you appreciate him when he was here?" I remember, like, when Mac Miller died, it was the same thing. People were like, "Oh, well, did you listen to Swimming?" And I'm like, "Shut up!" Like,
we gotta stop.
Like, stop that.
Let's not be the death police, and because you don't know who gave him his flowers. If you did it, then that's all you need to worry about. Don't worry about what somebody else was doing. And to me, that's like a projection. Whenever when someone says that, I believe that they didn't even do it. I believe that's them projecting their own insecurities.
And people make it sound like stop acting like you didn't, like you just been sitting here listening to DMX the whole discography like for your entire life every day of the year. Like,
exactly.
I don't know. People gotta relax, man.
The other thing I'll say is that we also have to not be as hard on ourselves about what the man had went through and who could have helped him, who should have helped him. Because again, we don't know who tried to help him. We don't know who had been working with him. We don't even know. Like I said, I've seen conflicting reports about his status as to why he got the heart attack.
Right. So
that aside, what I do know is that last year he had checked himself into rehab for drugs, obviously. And of course, again, it's no secret he's been dealing with drug addiction. The way he even got into drugs as a kid, one of his mentors had given him something. He was 14 years old, not knowing it was
drugs.
Yeah, like cocaine though, not like hard drugs. So,
oh damn,
so as a child he was, unknowingly introduced to this stuff. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, his life went as it should have went. We all feel like people always feel like some we could have done more. If someone gets shot, people say, "Damn, I should have been there for him. I should have been there with him." We have this. It's a natural thing, especially if you care about somebody. It's a natural thing to wish that you could have did things differently while they were alive, but we didn't. Life plays out, and we just got to appreciate what the man gave to the world. For a lot of people, he helped a lot of people through addiction.
Oh, a lot.
He helped a lot of people through depression and things like that. And to be as DMX was like a man's man, right? In my estimation, in terms of his demeanor, but to also be vulnerable and compassionate,
and to be honest,
like
that's different,
and to cry and to pray, and even just little clips of I've seen with him and his children. You know what I mean? To not even be like a tough dad, like to even just be a fun dad and just, you know what I mean? So, like I said, man wasn't a saint. Nobody's a saint. He was a human. But he was a human who tried to live a certain way. He battled with a lot of things, but he still left a contribution, and he touched a lot of people on this earth. Far more than I'm sure the people who have spoken negatively against him and the decisions he made. So, rest in peace to Earl Simmons.
Absolutely.
And prayers to his family, prayers to his children. Obviously to his fans. We're fans. So, like I said, it's a tough loss for music for sure.
Yeah, that's
New York music, hip hop music, rap music, and there won't be another DMX.
Nah, never.
I can assure you that. All right, let's go ahead and move on. Any other music we want to get into?
I mean, you mean like music news or just
anything music related?
I don't really know. You want to talk about Quavo and Saweetie?
Oh, Quavo took the Bentley. Quavo. So sources have confirmed. I know I got last week. I got a little hasty.
Sources and Quavo's own bars.
Well, that's the source. So, following the breakup of Quavo and Saweetie, it was alleged that he had repoed the Bentley. Those allegations were then rumored as being false. And a latest series of bars from
the man himself, Quavo Honcho.
What's his name? Quintavious?
Shit.
That's good enough. Just first name.
I thought it was Quavious. It's Quavious.
Fine. Fine. From Sir Quavious, bars have been released that would suggest that he did, in fact, repo the Bentley.
Good for him.
There's been some controversy regarding that.
Good for him. I'm off. Good for you.
The question should be, what did she do to make her take the Bentley?
I feel like you really have to mess up for somebody to take back a customized
But no one's
Bentley.
asking that. They're just saying, yo, he's a fucking dick for doing it. I got to get why he did it.
Why did he do it? I got to know why now.
I personally am not a taker-backer of gifts. However, depending on the circumstances, I may snatch something back up in the night.
Oh yeah,
while you sleep. So
this man repoed a whole car. Like she had to do something.
So this car was a custom Bentley, which in my
wasn't...
estimation means that he really cared about her.
Yeah, he didn't buy that shit from the store and say, here. Like, this man put work into this one.
Yeah. Yeah. And, I mean, I'm sure he's bought her a lot of shit. And the pushback would be, well, you know, money doesn't change. It doesn't solve all. And it doesn't solve all problems. But I saw she laid on that Bentley when he got it for her.
Oh, man. She was, bro, what?
Yeah,
she was happy as hell.
She was glazed over it like donut icing. She was glazed all over that Bentley. So, man. This is how you starting with it. This is how you come out. Now, if he got bars, if he got bars for Justin LeBoy, then we might have an album.
I keep telling everybody, Culture 3 is about to be the best album of the year. Y'all keep playing.
So yeah,
between that situation, Offset cheating, I don't know what Takeoff's doing, but
Takeoff is chilling.
Takeoff is smart.
Takeoff chilling. He been minding his business. Some charges got dropped.
Yeah.
And
if y'all don't think Culture 3 is about to be the best album of the year, I don't know what to tell you anymore because that album about to be crazy.
Yeah,
I think I don't know. You think Quavo's gonna get applauded for this one by the guys?
Oh,
the guys are gonna applaud it.
He's gonna put a line in the sand. So. Team Saweetie girls, they already done wrapped him. They already done got him out the paint. So ain't shit he can say. But I think depending on how far he go with the details or his side, or I guess his side of the story, if you will, if you want to call it that, because music is a lot of times like rappers don't make statements, but they'll allude to things in music. That's like music is them telling like their side of the story in a way they can do it. And if you put your side of the story over a beat, it lends a little bit to
niggas will catch it.
Yeah,
we'll catch it.
So,
and Quavo's not Drake. He's not gonna make it super subliminal. Like I think he'll make it a little bit more.
I mean, he already kind of told, hey, Exhibit A, I took that shit.
I took it.
I did.
I can't wait for Exhibit B.
I did that shit. Hey, tell us what's in the fucking box.
I gotta know what she did now.
What's in the box?
I have to know what she did.
What is in the fucking box? You ever seen Seven? I know you seen Seven.
Yeah, I saw Seven. Well, Brad Pitt, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
What you think? You think Saweetie gonna come back on wax?
Sure, but that kind of would be like again the Saweetie. I mean, I don't know if she had the hive, but if it bops, it might have diss track. Hey,
back to back
X diss tracks. Oh.
What did they make? What do they back to back each other?
If she make a song called Quavious, that's his first name.
Oh man,
yeah, it's over. That might be
it's over.
That might be it.
If she makes a song called Quavious, that shit could be trash.
Yeah,
it won't matter.
Yeah, and if she sounds like she's just mad at him, the bars ain't gotta matter. They ain't gotta rhyme or nothing. She just start telling the nigga business off.
She won off the title.
She could just tell the nigga. She could tell the nigga business off beat. She don't even rhyme. It don't
just
matter.
Talk.
Yeah,
just go on the beat.
Just like some. Yeah, just
she'll win.
Yeah, that'll be a tough blow.
Unless
I might give her a point for that.
Unless whatever she did was just so damning that it's just like okay, we don't care what you said.
Yeah,
but I really want. I don't know. I think it's it's about to surface.
Do you think that if they go back and forth on songs, do you think this might be something that happens with couples who are artists?
I hope.
Dissing each other.
I hope. That would be fucking great.
Would that be wrong though?
No,
I don't think so either. But because when rap,
Beyonce did it.
Yeah, but it's not. Yes, but rappers beefing with each other is normal.
Yeah,
but rappers who dated, who no longer dating and beefing with each other, it's kind of different.
I would drop a diss song on my ex.
So
I would have to do it. It only makes sense because.
But if Saweetie does it, it's cool. If Quavo does it,
it's an issue.
It's toxic. And here we are again with the double standard, if you will, particularly with the female rapper genre. I think this is what we should start expecting. I mean, not to this degree if you're dating, but I think healthy rap beefs with men and women be a good way to hash some stuff out.
Who do you think should drop the diss? So you think he should let Saweetie drop the diss track first?
he had the Bentley bar. I think he should leave it at that. Let her get her shit off.
And then you drop the bomb.
Because Jay dropped Takeover and then Nas dropped Ether.
Mm-hmm.
You let her get her Takeover on, and then you could just rebuttal those. Because all you gotta do is just rebuttal those arguments. You said, you know what I'm saying, and then he give him like, this would really happen. Ooh.
He should push a T-er. You know, I push a T for 10 years. He been dissing Drake over beats subliminally, and then they were going back at each other.
And then the only thing you really need after that is just Offset's ad-libs.
Oh, that's it. You drop a diss track with Offset's ad-libs, it's over.
If he lends ad-libs to a diss track, is he now on the chopping block? Can he diss her? Can she diss him as well?
Yeah.
But it's just ad-libs though. He just did.
Oh man, look, if he would have to back her. He would have to make the Grammy winning song, the Grammy winning diss track. Oh wait, no, it's Grammy nominated. Whatever. He would have to. He would have to make that fucking. I would do it. I would if I was Quavo. I would push a T her, because the fact that you hurt me so much that I got a repo, a custom Bentley that I made specifically for you. Oh no, I'm about to kill you. I'm ending your career. I got to.
Yeah,
I have to end your career for the culture. I'm sorry.
But you know, it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be harder than that because, like I said, she's a part of a movement. Mm-hmm. So, because it's not much to say that he's the better rapper, if you want to put it like that. But who's just gonna sting the worst?
Well,
women have a way of saying the right thing in the right spot. It's over for this nigga.
Well, that's why he has to drop the ultimate. He can't write it. He has to get Drake in there. Then he has to get Offset. You tell them everything that happened, and then you let them write your song.
Let them get it off on. Okay.
That's what I would do. I'm telling you, man.
Okay.
Because you know what? Drake could text away from this dude. Hey, I'm doing it. That's it.
The boy.
What more you need to say at that point?
Hey, that's fair. Fair enough.
Shit. If I'm a rapper, my ex a rapper, I'm dissing her. I'm sorry. Especially if I got the connections that Quavo got.
Yeah.
At least had a song on Tuck. That's all.
Nah, I'm with you.
But definitely push it to her. You got to bait her.
All right. Any other music we got?
Well, we were talking about how like all the most popular songs are on TikTok now. So it's like, you know, like I told you, Miguel dropped 4 EPs this month. 4 3-track EPs. I didn't hear about any of them until this 4th one. And it's like, and none of the major artists are really dropping right now. So it's one of those things where I feel like the music landscape is so diverse in the ways to find music that it's almost too diverse. If that makes it's too many avenues, and it's too many. Like, one song is popular on Twitter while the other one's popular on TikTok, while another song is popular on Facebook. Yeah. That's kind of like where we are. And you know what's funny is that these are just like one-off songs, and then these artists drop albums and nobody hears about it.
Well, I mean, to be honest, I still think that's the right formula. At least if you can get, because at the end of the day, the album is going to perform or it's not going to perform. But if you can at least get somebody to gravitate to who you are, you have to find a way to you have to just figure out a way to translate that to the album. So that's going to be the challenge. But the TikToks of the world and just those other outlets of getting your song out, like you said, you know, there's songs that have been going viral off of TikTok challenges and dances and shit like that.
Yeah.
As the artist, I think you have to find a way to lean into that and help that get people to your album. How that is, it's got to be more than, apparently it's got to be more than just dropping an album.
Yeah. So
you got to figure that out. But if you already got the layup or the alley getting thrown from your shit getting popping from, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So
I think, and then you said something really key that I never paid. You said, man, I noticed that a bunch of YouTube videos, music videos on YouTube drop, and I don't hear about any of them. And there's some like artists that you listen to.
Yeah.
But I be getting fucking hoopty popping up by CJ, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like,
yeah, man. This is the battle of the land of the algorithms. Land of the algorithms, and just finding out how to get your shit. I mean, algorithms, hashtags, how to get your shit on to a homepage or
Yeah.
So it's more of the music is really music is like the front of the game cover, but you actually have to learn how to play the game. It's like, what I'm saying, the music is like the Mortal Kombat logo, but then actually you actually gotta put the disc in and learn the frame traps and frame data and I'm not a video game expert, but just
I feel you.
But that's what the internet is. You got to learn the game, and that's a lot of times how these kids be getting off. It's not that their music is necessarily better or worse than anyone else's. It's just that they know how to work the internet.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I'm starting to.
We just talked about Lil Nas X.
Oh yeah, Satan shoes.
Knows how to work the
That
internet.
man's a master.
Knows how to work the internet. So, how do you cap? And granted, now mind you, he's going through some lengths that I don't know if everyone's willing to go through. But what does the internet, primarily consist of is searches or engagement.
And I remember you saying like he can't. There's nowhere else for him to go at this point, which is kind of true.
I mean, it's a formula I think it's a formula. It's gonna burn out at some time, but you have to either find a way to make yourself a household name or just milk it while you got it.
Or go into marketing, because I think he'll be phenomenal.
It's maybe.
Well,
because it's different. Because it's different for someone else.
Yeah.
Because he knows what works in his wheelhouse, but if he's working with if he's working with some white boy or with a chick or something like that, it's a different type of arena.
I can see that.
So
I don't know. I feel like I don't know. I'm kind of indifferent to TikTok, but I can definitely see how it's like kind of messing up music. Like I never paid attention to it really until the fact that I listened to Miguel, and the fact that he dropped 4 EPs and I didn't even know is insane to me.
I mean, honestly, it's even leaning more into the conditioning of content at a minimized time cycle.
Yeah.
So, what? TikToks are 15 or 30 seconds now?
Mm-hmm.
You feel what I'm saying? Once upon a time, a 2-minute song was like, what the fuck is this? Now we're going down to...
that's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? Now, imagine someone wanted to listen to a 2-minute song now.
That's crazy. 2-minute songs, they used to be frowned upon.
Yeah, now we're getting into smaller, digestible takes of content, particularly with music. You feel what I'm saying?
Do you think that's good or bad?
Well, it's good. Well, pardon me. I think it's bad as a fan of music, but as a person who has to play the game of the streaming and getting the numbers, it's less time you have to take on one thing. You could just put out a bunch of shit.
It's easier for you.
It's easier, yeah. So now it's just like, okay, just keep cranking out little bites. You know what I mean? Until they change the rule and say, hey, it has to be a minute long project to get a certain type of revenue for it.
Yeah, I think that's what we're gonna end. That's what's coming. I think they're gonna end up starting to have to regulate the length because I think we're gonna hit a point where everybody's just dropping EPs.
Well, I mean, yeah, too. And then the other thing too is people. Now we got people they're using. Like I said, they're using these TikToks as things as springboards to other things. So now they have a YouTube channel where they have a gaming channel, or they have some shit where they, talking about current events or something that lands them somewhere else for other content. Because now the other thing too is you have to try to get either on multiple platforms or just have multiple pieces of content. Excuse me. Multiple pieces of content to where because I watch a good amount of YouTubers, and they utilize YouTube has a member system now where you pay like a monthly thing to get like certain types of content.
Oh, I didn't know that.
They have Patreon. Of course, people a lot of times they have the quote unquote what's called super chat, where you can pay money, and they you send somebody a message and they pay money. But I think Google gets like 30% of that off the top.
Oh damn! Google
So
got a lot.
so a lot of times creators will say, hey, just if you can, just use the Cash App or the what's the other one? But just different subscription based services, like almost like a thing. Patreon, same shit. It's I don't know, man. But for the actual artists and making music, it's been a long time since we've and I say a long time in internet years, internet time, where there's been like a very, very low output of music.
Yeah,
people get conditioned to shit really quick.
Yeah, I'm starting to notice that with myself too. I was trying to like fight it for a while, but then I'm starting to notice like I have less and less tolerance for like I'm not. I don't know. What am I trying to say? I lost my thought.
So you're saying like you have less time for trying to find music, or you should like less time to?
I guess like I only like certain songs now that go past 3 minutes from like certain artists.
Yeah.
Because I feel like we hitting a point now where only so many artists can do a third verse. Like on did you listen to Dumb and Dumber 2?
Oh, I haven't yet, no.
So one person who I noticed that Young Dolph does a lot of third verses. I never peeped it, but he's one of the few artists that can actually pull the third verse now. It's not too many artists that can. I feel like a lot of artists has hit a point now with their creativity where it's like they've been so conditioned to just do 2-minute songs that a third verse is like I don't expect to hear a third verse. And if I do, I normally normally over the song by that point, depending on the artist. And I don't think that's good.
Well, the other thing too is what's the benefit of a third verse to the artist?
Well, see, if you do it. I'm just using Dolph as an example because he's the latest one. But the way he does his third verse, he always has like a beat. The beat always drops or something. Something's always happening before his third verse. He does something to the production, and his third verse is always the hardest. It's almost like it's just like a skill that he has. He'll rap. And he can rap his ass off. Make no mistake. But he'll do something to the beat. The beat will drop. He'll start talking in the middle of the song, something. And then third verse, right at it. And so maybe it's more so like, I think for certain artists, it's not about pleasing the audience. I think it's more so just, nah, nigga, like, I'm that guy. And I think that's what it is. That's at least the feeling I get when it comes down to Dolph, is that he doesn't need to do the third verse. He just wants to say, no, I'm that guy. I'm gonna do the third verse. And you still gonna like listen to the whole song because it go hard. And I respect that.
I got you. Yeah, I don't know if a lot of artists feel that way like that. I don't feel like a lot of artists enjoy making music. I just feel like that's the vehicle. Music is the vehicle that just propelled them to stardom or propelled them to
money
and fame. So it's not. So it's like it's in a lot of ways it's like a job to them. So if I can do what's the least amount of work I could do and still get paid?
Yeah,
that's a lot of times the mindset.
So, artists don't even be promoting their albums like that no more.
They don't want to. That's what I'm saying. They don't want to. And I mean, you have a global gateway to get your music out, and they don't even want to post their shit.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want to promote it. They don't want to.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? So it's just a little different. By and large, the larger landscape of music, not just your bigger names or your bigger artists, because there's a lot of artists who it's rough for them right now.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean. So,
interesting topic.
Yeah. All right, let's go ahead and let's move forward here into TV. All right, so Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Yeah, we're doing spoilers.
All right, so yes, this is a disclaimer. There will be spoilers for these shows that we're going to be reviewing or discussing, you have been told, you have been warned. There will be a timestamp to indicate when we get to the sports topics. Just look out for that. So we are going to get into Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So we are on, episode 4 came out yesterday, and we pick up where one of the members of I don't remember her name, but one of the members of the Dora Milaje has tracked down Bucky, Zemo, and Falcon. And you know why she's here. What a boy Zemo at? And Bucky doesn't seem to be surprised.
No.
He's saying, hey, I was wondering when he was going to show up.
Yep.
So he knew this was going to be coming. So, yeah. So currently, with Zemo being broken out of prison by Sam and Bucky as they're tracking down the Carly. What's the group? Fist Smashers or
Flag Smashers?
Flag Smashers. From the Flag Smashers, they're trying to track her down. So they broke Zemo out to help, get some more information regarding the Super Soldier Serum. Blah 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 blah. All right. So in this episode, they're trying to track her down. At this point, she's someone close to her has died. So there's a funeral she's going to be attending, and they get to her. And also in pursuit is John Walker, a.k.a. Bitch Ass Cap, and Lamar, a.k.a. Great Value Falcon.
Yeah.
But I like Lamar. I like him.
Lamar seems like
he seems like a decent guy.
Yeah.
Decent guy. All right, so I'm not going to go through a play-by-play of the whole episode, but I think this is probably the best episode so far.
Easily.
A lot of stuff happened. They had a good balance of action and story blended together.
And emotion. They did their thing. Oh, that goes in the story. You're right.
Yeah. So, what takeaways do you have from this episode?
Well, from the beginning, even the part with Bucky and Wakanda, like, that was to show him crying, going through, and then they did the flashbacks through all the bad shit he did in the earlier Marvel movies. And then, did you know? Oh man, see, I looked at like top 10 things you didn't notice with the WandaVision. I mean, with the Falcon, and one of the things, and I didn't even notice this. They showed during that flashback. They showed him when he was, the scene in Civil War where he was about to like kill Tony Stark or something.
You put the hand in his chest?
Yeah. And they were like, yo, you wasn't under Zemo's control when you did that. Like, you did that on your own. And it was one of the things they showed. And I'm just sitting here like, but I mean, that's just like a little minor detail. But that opening scene, like, kind of set the tone for the episode. And I was so glad that there was no comedic undertones to this episode. Because I really think they need to stick. I mean, like, have the joke thrown in every now and then. But, the first 3 episodes were like buddy cop dialogue bullshit. But this episode, they didn't have any. They might have had like 1 or 2 lines. And it wasn't like forced. It was just like natural little lines. And I'm like, okay, like, now we're getting somewhere.
To piggyback your point, the dialogue with Falcon and Carly at the funeral.
That was good.
That really lends to why they should get away from the humor. Because when Anthony Mackie has that serious, or the Falcon, I'm saying Anthony Mackie is an actor, but that serious dialogue with Carly and just him analyzing her position and even saying that, yo, I don't disagree with what you're fighting for. I just don't think the means is the right way is really telling to just how good of a scene you can get without the bullshit. Mm-hmm. And I thought that was good because, good and bad, we're past that now. And even one of the characters in the show
they said that.
Says that. The world is a lot more complex than just good and evil. A lot of people who are seen as villains think they're doing good.
Yeah.
I.e. Thanos. I.e. Ultron. You know what I mean? Like, Ultron thought he was doing good. He thought destroying humanity would allow humanity a chance to improve itself. Thanos thought taking away half of humanity would allow them to be grateful for a new universe. And
yeah,
obviously keep resources apparently. You know, he could have doubled them with the gauntlet. But anyway, so I thought that was a good scene. You also start to see the unraveling of John Walker, and
which was very interesting to see. Actually,
they're trying to make, and you pointed out something that I didn't notice. They had certain scenes of his that were very, very similar to scenes that Captain America had done throughout the movies. One of them that I did notice was when him and Lamar walked into the building, and he had the shield with the gun over the shield, and they walked in kind of like the first Captain America movie.
Yeah.
Obviously, the end of the episode where he's with the shield killing the guy, similar to the Civil War. And the jumping out the window.
That was from was that from Civil War too?
I'm not sure.
I think I don't know, but I know that for sure he jumped out a window in one of those movies.
Got it.
And landed right on the fucking bus.
Got it. So, but yeah, so even though those scenes were similar, they were showing you the differences between a Steve Rogers and a John Walker.
Yeah.
Where John Walker, Steve believed in freedom so much so that he was willing to go against the government when he thought that the government was not in the best interest of the people. Mm-hmm. John did some horrible things for the government almost without question.
Yeah.
Because he thought he was doing the right thing by following the commands of the government. They made the comment, him and Lamar, when they were at the bar. He was like, man, imagine how many, and they tried to justify it. Imagine how many people we could have saved if we were super soldiers.
Yeah.
If we had the serum. And just, you see a man, and to be honest, the actor Wyatt Russell, who's playing the current Cap, I think he's doing a hell of a job.
Oh, he's smoking
He's
it right
doing
now.
a hell of a job, and I'm not gonna hold you. He's probably like my second favorite character because he is a hated character. But
and that's what I like what they're doing with the writing. That's good writing.
Yeah.
What's funny is that even though we all know Zemo is a villain at the end of all this, the fact that he's being held in a higher regard than the hero, like, that's some phenomenal fucking writing.
Right. And like I just said, Zemo believes he's you good? Zemo believes he's doing good. What happened with what happened when he saw the serum? He stepped on all of it.
He stepped on all of it.
Almost he didn't. I mean, they showed the hesitation for the show, but I think without hesitation, he stepped on the serum.
And he held his end of the bargain.
Yeah. So he truly believes that the world does not need more super soldiers.
And that's what I like. I like that they said, yo, he has a moral. Because, a lot of shows do that. A lot of shows. But you know what I'm noticing with these Marvel shows? They are really good at continuity. Even with WandaVision. A lot of stuff you forgot about that happened in the first episode, they bring it back. And I remember in episode 2 or 3 of this show, oh no, it was 3 when they were talking to him, he was like, yo, I'm a man of morals. And, normally shows say little throwaway shit and then they forget about it. But this show is actually sticking. And like I said, WandaVision did the same thing. They're sticking to the things that they said and referenced. And that's I'm so happy to see that they're just not saying shit and just throwing it away. No. That actually used to be one of my biggest gripes with the Marvel movies, is that they used to do that. But I guess it's an issue they're trying to address now.
Well, I think in the beginning you don't really know what the future is, but now that you kind of know, you have some leeway. Yeah. Now it's kind of essential to tie parts in, whereas in the beginning where you didn't really know if you was going to have a future to even tie in. Mm-hmm. So I think that's just something that they've improved on as they've gotten more successful. So let's get into the action, man. The fucking Dora Milaje. Oh my God!
That was great.
When they pulled up.
When they kicked him into that fucking pole, I was like,
what? When they pulled up and he's like, man, I don't know if you know or not, but I'm Captain America. I don't know if y'all got the news. He's like, nigga, I don't know if you got the news.
We made your shield.
Exactly, nigga. Where you think you got that shield from, Playboy? Who you think? So, and then he was like, you're out of your jurisdiction. And she was like, nah, our jurisdiction is where we need to be at. That's what the fuck our jurisdiction is.
That's some cocky shit to say.
But you know what though? That adds to his John Walker psyche.
Yeah.
They don't even respect me. Then when they beat the brakes off of him, damn, they weren't even super soldiers.
And I think that's what I like. That's why I like the development of how they're doing it, man. Because they're doing it step by step. They could have easily just had this dude go crazy as shit.
Yeah,
honestly, they could have just gave him the serum. That would have been the easy cop out. But instead, they built up to that moment.
They unraveled it, and they even had a conversation. Like I said, during a conversation where he was like, He was talking to Lamar. Would you have taken it? Mm-hmm. Hell yeah, I was taking it. So even he's still has conflictions about it.
Yeah,
you feel what I'm saying? The other part, and going back to that fight scene. When they did that boy Buck, let me get that. Whatever pressure point
that
she did,
dropped his shit. Their arm just fell. Hey, I was like, ooh.
She almost repoed that shit.
She like she wanted to pick that shit up and be like,
since we taking shit back now, since we taking back gifts, she was like, yeah, let me go ahead and and then Sam was like, hey, you know she could do that. He was like, no.
And you know what I noticed? Did you notice that? I don't know. This is a little subtle imagery shit, but they made sure to show like his arm, and then they showed the Wakanda, like not Wakanda, but like the colors.
Yeah.
The purple. I was like, so they made sure you knew, like, oh nah, that was from Wakanda, and I was like, that was kind of cool. I like how they did that.
So, yeah, man, it was great, and it was actually kind of cool to see Falcon, even in the close quarters, just his ability to still have close quarters combat.
Yeah.
That didn't he was using the jet propellers to like do certain kicks and things of that nature. So it kind of shows that he's capable, man. To be honest, as much as I don't think I don't want him to even be Captain America. Now more so because he's already kind of a badass with
he's lit, man.
You know what I'm saying?
And I think that's good. That's why I told you, like, one thing I like about these shows is that they're starting to highlight these fucking characters.
So yeah, so now we're starting to get like, I'm like, because like I think what was it, episode 3, when he didn't have nothing, he didn't have anything, he was just hand to hand. I was like, hey, he's kind of a loser. But
you think Marvel does that on purpose? What? Like they just purposely set us up to think certain things about certain characters, and then they're like, all right, let's kind of switch it up. Because they did the same thing with WandaVision.
I'm not sure. I think this show, this is what I think is one of the things that I'm concerned about, but it being only 6 episodes. I feel like if they'd have had maybe 8, they could have fleshed some stuff out a little bit better.
8 would have been the magic.
8 would have been a perfect number for some of this stuff. And, you know, you see different things about Falcon's his skill set that I think are pretty impressive. Like I said, and mind you, in the last scene where he's going against essentially super soldiers, and he's still kind of holding his own, using his skill set, because as a human, obviously he can't physically go toe to toe with them. And you know what I also thought was obviously the big cliffhanger, or the big turning point, was they didn't show John Walker taking the serum.
Yeah,
they just showed him being in that bar.
Well,
and even the dude was like, "Oh shit!" He was like,
the moment he threw that shield against the wall, it was that little man. Marvel be on that.
And then, I'm saying like that was when Sam he was like, "What did you do?"
Yeah,
so he was like, because Sam was like, "What the fuck?" He saw him in that bar. He was like,
"Yeah,
motherfucker, what did you? I know good and goddamn well you
didn't take that serum.
I know good and motherfucking well." So then, of course, we get to the end scene where the character, and this is after Lamar. I'm gonna say he's dead.
Lamar?
Yeah, I'm gonna say he's dead.
I don't think he is, but it would be better if he was. Not in the sense of like I want his character was bad. It would just add to the element.
Yeah. So I'm gonna say he's dead, and that's the thing that finally, I think, sends him over the edge. John Walker. Now even Cardi was like, "Oh, let's get the fuck up out of here."
Yeah,
we gotta go.
That shit was that was a good. That whole last 5 minutes was just phenomenal.
You know, I was goofing off. I was talking shit to my girl. I was like, you know what? Black brother dies by the hands of a white terrorist, and a white man comes to the rescue. Falcon ain't even do shit. Falcon just sitting there perplexed. The white king.
You know what I noticed about you know what I'm liking about what they're doing with these Marvel shows is that the way they unravel them, they're unraveling them like almost like the characters are just as surprised. Cause with the MCU movies, like it's like nothing phases these niggas. But in these shows, they're starting to show like they're like shit, like, hold on. Like, you know what I'm saying? And you starting to see it. And that's what I like. That's what I really like. Man, Marvel's killing these shows right now.
Yeah. So, kudos again to Wyatt Russell.
Yeah.
I think he's a hell of a Captain America in terms of being the type of Captain America that people hate. So I think that lends to again, that's a good character. I always think that a character that's hated by the audience is a good character.
Because it's hard to make the audience hate a character. It's kind of hard.
I think yes and no. I think it's easy in his case because it's easy, but he's not like, but like you said, the way they're writing it.
It's the way they're writing.
He comes in the beginning as a humble guy, and he's not really a good guy per se. He's just very accomplished in his. So even makes a mention in the again going back to the bar scene. The dude's like, bro, you got 3 whatever medals he got. He was like, yeah, but if they knew what I got the medals for, would they really be, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, the medals don't make the man. Mm-hmm. And then Zemo's whole thing with the super soldiers is that, the serum corrupts them. The ending scene essentially proves him right. Captain America basically killing this dude in broad daylight and the camera phone age, basically. So yeah, I'm pretty sure these next 2 episodes are gonna be fucking.
And 2 episodes, 6 is too short. You can't, because this is your 4th one.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And we get to this at episode 4. So you kind of see the turn for U.S. Agent going left, or John Walker to become U.S. Agent. I think is gonna have some sort of variation of the black outfit. I hope so. And
they still got to talk about the
power broker.
Which, that's still a thing.
So I do feel like there's a lot they still have to get into 2 episodes. Unless y'all gonna make the bitches 90 minutes, then I don't.
And that's the thing, like, and you know what's funny is that Invincible is the same length as this show, and they're doing 10 episodes, and their big reveal, their biggest shit is starting to happen now in episode 5, but they got 5 more episodes. That's the difference.
Yeah, for sure. Speaking of which, let's go ahead and let's move into Invincible. So, you caught up? Yeah. All right. So, once again, spoilers. So, episode 5 of Invincible was out, released this past Thursday. A lot more from Mahershala Ali's character, Titan. He was in episode 1 or 2. And Invincible made pretty quick work of him, and I was like, "Dang, that's it. That's all. They only got my boy for one little line."
Yeah, to get his ass beat.
Yeah, I was like, "Dang, my boy. I know he worth more than that. I know he worth. You know what I mean?" So I was a little concerned, but his character returns, and he's apparently causing some ruckus with some other criminals and shit. And he sees Invincible, and then he basically paints on the roof to get his attention. Mm-hmm. Yo. You know, you up there helping all these people in the world, but you ain't even helping the real people who need it, blah, blah, blah.
Which is a good angle.
Hit him with that. And, so he hit him with that angle. Mind you, Mark is still in the process of trying to juggle his superhero life and his relationship with Amber. It's not going too well. He's showing up late for shit, but he's showing up late for shit with things, and that doesn't make sense to her. He's like, yo, you showed up late because you got me a cheesecake, and that's why you're late.
Yeah.
so
from Japan.
Yeah. So yeah. Also, you have there's a lot of different angles. Obviously, they're still investigating. They're still investigating the death of the Guardians, and the wife is trying to figure some stuff out. Still, she still is uneasy. Mm-hmm. She sends him on a grocery list trip to get some certain items from all over the world, and hoping that in a time frame she could find his suit. Hell, his dad is still trying to train him. Mm-hmm. And in the midst of that, they have a conflict about, Dad, I want to save everybody. He's like, well, you got to think bigger picture, son. You know, you can't. There's other guys for that. Let the other people handle that.
You're starting to see the slow unraveling of his dad's true nature.
Yeah. So
Slow unraveling, but it's showing.
So you have that element of it. So ultimately, we lead to a situation where Invincible has been helping Titan to overthrow a, I guess you call him a city kingpin known as Machine Head. And Machine Head, he has this ability to predict probabilities of some sort. So
quantum probabilities.
So they pull up on him. You're like, oh,
I prepare for this.
Yeah, I knew you niggas would be here. I got bread though. So
good argument.
I got bread though. So yeah, so there's a villain group that pulls up out of nowhere who's fighting Invincible by themselves. Then the kid guardians or the teen guardians, I guess you would call them that.
I think they're called the teen fighter. I don't know.
So the youngsters, if you will, are ushered into this fight and a little bit out of their league.
Way out there.
A little bit out of their league.
I like that they do that.
Even Mark gets to work.
I like that they do that. They actually have superheroes losing and damn near dying.
Well, they had Monster Girls pretty much
done.
Rap.
It was somebody else too, the black guy.
Well, I think they hauled him out of there. They didn't kill him. He broke his arm.
Oh, I thought he killed him.
No, he was on a stretcher and they had his arm slung up, but I think he was unconscious. He
damn near killed Mark for sure.
Yeah. Mind you, the dad is just sitting there
watching. He called them, and I thought that was so crazy that he called them knowing they couldn't handle it. He knew. That's why he called them.
Yeah. So essentially, I believe he was trying to teach Mark a lesson in his way. But yeah, man, this is a very, very
it's starting to get pretty dark. Like you're starting to see this show is starting to turn into a kind of a different show from the transition from the first episode to that fifth episode. It's like night and day.
Yeah. So
our day to night.
The other element that I think was a short piece of that was the robot. I don't remember his name. He went to the twins with a blood sample. I believe a blood sample of Rex. If I'm not mistaken, didn't he get Rex's blood sample?
Yeah, he hit him in the neck.
So he got Rex's blood samples. So
I wonder what he's doing. Because I know every time Monster Girl talks about her aging, he kind of has that sympathetic fit. Like, you can tell he's like, shit, man. Like, I got to figure this out for her. So that's what I'm thinking he's trying to do, but I don't know. I can't really tell right now.
And mind you, and he didn't hesitate to go to someone who was pretty much deemed as a criminal. Dude broke out of prison.
Yeah.
So he didn't even book him. He didn't even arrest him. He was like, yo, I know you do some shit with cloning, so
need you.
Yeah. So yeah, there's a lot of there are a lot of moving parts in this show. And what it lacks, I'm still not the biggest fan of the animation. Not that it's bad. It's just okay. But I think it makes up for it with just a very, very good story.
Yeah.
Very, very good story. It keeps you engaged because, like I said, there are several moving parts that are going on that I think I'm pretty much interested in all of them. This episode ends with Titan basically kind of playing Mark. He was like, "Hey, man,
you're on your own."
Yeah,
he said that. He was like, "You're on your own."
Hey, nothing personal, but you're on your own now, Doc. So
that shit was crazy. That was a good.
And he even said, "Hey, did you I didn't lie to him. I am going to make the city better." So
he tried. He justified it. He tried to justify his.
Villains always, they're telling you the ends justify the means. Mm-hmm. So when you think you're doing good, it doesn't matter how you get there. It's just getting there. So, good episode. Where do you think they're going? I think the wife is really going to be the one who's going to.
It's going to be the wife.
The wife is going to find out, and then. Even the way he speaks to his wife is borderline disrespectful. Yeah. Like, nigga, When you got here, you didn't know shit about shit. I taught you that, nigga. I taught you how to button up some clothes.
Which was a good. I like the fact that they have her as like she checks him.
Yeah.
No, like no matter, she doesn't care about how powerful he's. Like, nah, nigga.
Yeah.
Like,
So it's like, don't forget what it was like when you was here and when you just got here. I showed you the ropes, nigga. I taught you English. I put you on the cheesecake.
Yeah.
And wine in France, nigga.
And wine.
Come on, man.
Yeah, that's the thing, man. It's
You didn't even know what a cape was before you met me. So
I think it's gonna be interesting to see just where they take this show now, because honestly, I think after the Titan betraying thing, it's kind of hard to tell where anything's going at this point.
Yeah, it's a lot of moving parts, man. So I think they're still, even though they banished the dark blood dude or the demon, the devil.
I'm wondering what they're gonna do with it. Like if he's gonna come back or
because they say he can't really die. He's not dead. He's just in hell. But I think they still have a. I mean, again, he's like, yo, it's not that you're wrong, but I told you this. I told you to back up.
Let us handle it.
Yeah. So.
And normally I don't even care about like the relationships between characters, but I'm actually interested to see what they do with Amber and Mark. I'm curious to see like how that's gonna play out too.
I mean, Amber, Mark, Adam, Eve, and Mark. You know what I'm saying? She's conflicted about even wanting to be a superhero, and then Mark just got the shit beat out of him, and she wasn't there. Yeah. So maybe she feels guilt. Maybe she feels. You know what I mean? So.
This show does a really good job.
There's a lot of layers that they take from superhero shit and life stuff. Yeah. They make it relatable.
This show has a really good balance of like everything. I don't know, man. Some well-written shows, man.
Yeah. Absolutely. All right, let's
Oh damn, it's hour.
No. We gonna skip Snowfall because I know you haven't watched it, but Franklin has come back to his senses. I'll say that. All right, on to sports. All right, let's end on a. Well, we can get to the Deshaun Watson thing. So Deshaun Watson, we've been talking about it. There's been, I think, to this point, 22 women who have come out with some form of a story, a civil suit, and 2 of them have gone public. One of them via a written statement. The other one via video have gone public, basically just telling their side of the story. There's a third person who wanted to remain anonymous, and Deshaun Watson's lawyer was able, or there was a hearing, and I think the girl is now, they wanted to give her name out.
She went public.
Yeah. So now, we've been going back and forth with this thing, man, because I mean he's already been released from the Texans, and it's just unusual. So I think it's just really hard to process, like, why are they all going civil? Why are they not going criminal? Why are they not? You know what I mean? And there are certain things that come with that, right? One of the main things being, I believe when you pursue a criminal case, you no longer have the anonymity. For a criminal case, the defense has a right to know who their accuser is, by law, which is, I think, is another reason why these civil suits, because I think civil suits do not have that same type of stipulation. We don't know shit, but what do you think?
At first, I thought it was a smear campaign, but the way things are going, I don't even know, because it's.
Well, I'm just as a disclaimer. Again, we don't know. So
yeah, but nobody really knows, because like you said, this is really unique. You got a bunch of women who are doing civil case, like most people, and it makes you kind of wonder, like, it does make you question, like, shit, did he really do it? Because clearly this isn't about money, because they would have just fucking came out. Normally that's how it is. Not saying that previous cases are about money, but what I'm saying is, You know, like what Bill Cosby is the prime example. You had a bunch of women speaking out about him, and they all went criminal, all of them. And now, how many lawsuits? What is it, like 20 now? 22. Okay, so you got 22 all civil. Like, I don't even know what to think of it, because it's one of those things that we literally have to watch play out. Normally, you can call these kind of things.
So the legal process obviously has to play itself out. Yeah. Court of public opinion, I think he's in a hole that it's going to be very, very hard for him to get out of. Just because, I mean, even if, all right, let's just hypothetically say that he's found not guilty.
Yeah.
Unless these girls flat out came out and said we lied on them, I don't think it's gonna matter.
Yeah, that's true. Because
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was about to say, like, because do you think this is gonna affect him more? Because I think society is kind of in the same boat. Society's kind of like, what the hell's going on? But then, you know, from a corporate standpoint, is like you said, it's pretty much
cut from the Texans. Nike contract suspended.
Yeah.
So he's already in a space to where people who are around him are now they're caught in a difficult bind.
Yeah.
Nike usually rides people through certain shit. 22 allegations.
That's very true. They roll with Tiger.
22 allegations is a tough go, right? I'm going to be careful with this. Once again, this is pure speculation. This is not anything that's been reported by anyone. This is just what let me not say we. This is what I think happened. I think that some of these women had an encounter with him. I do think some of these were actually consensual. I also do think, particularly, there was one story about him getting a massage and he had like a towel over his penis, and he got erect and he pulled it off and he told the girl to just kind of just work around it. I also think that happened too, which would be.
I mean, I got a hot stone massage in Africa, and
I'm just saying.
I can see it.
I'm not saying that. Look, I'm not saying it's even weird for him to get an erection during a massage. I'm just saying how you go about it. He pulled the towel off himself and said, "Hey, just work around it." So he was exposed. I think that's a no-no. Just knowing who you are. I think sometimes dudes have to look at it opposite. When you have a lot, it doesn't fortify you. It actually makes you more vulnerable. I think sometimes you have to operate in that way. Protect your seed, protect your investments, protect yourself, protect your image. And again, all this comes to light in lieu of him wanting a trade offer. I think that has to be included in the mind frame of the argument. So again, my opinion that has not been verified to be true in any degree. I just want to reiterate that for the audience. The Texans were not really tripping off of it because he was cool and he was a team guy and he was their guy. When he no longer wanted to be their guy, they said no.
Shit started flying.
Yeah. You make M's, not B's. You got to make B's to be able to withstand those punches. That's true. So a lot of dudes got to remember, black folks, we not used to being millionaires. So when you become a millionaire, you think you're somebody, but you work for billionaires. Yeah. A Robert Kraft can make some shit like this go away. A Jerry Jones can make some shit like this go away. Yeah. You not neither one of them niggas. Yeah. Even as a millionaire athlete, you work for somebody. And when you step out of pocket, they will remind you. Now, does this absolve Deshaun Watson in any degree? No. I always think that, again, when you become of status especially in a quarterback position, or even as just a professional athlete, we have eyes and ears all over you. I always say, assume a camera is everywhere. Assume a microphone's everywhere. Watch what you do. Watch what you say.
Yeah.
Because someone's always looking for something that they can use against you. I think you always have to be in that type of mind frame of self-preservation. And I think sometimes dudes think that status makes them invincible. Yeah, from certain people. Not from billionaires. You can get touched.
You can get
touched. And I think this is Deshaun Watson about to find it out the hard way.
Yeah, he's definitely being made an example out of. That's for sure. If you don't take away from anything, even if he walks away completely innocent, completely vindicated, like, they are going to make an example out of this dude.
You can get touched, for sure.
And you know, it is what you say. Having a lot of money, you may not get touched by your average guy. Sure, the guy walking down the street, but because you got money don't mean you above everyone, because they will get you. They need to get you. And I think that might be what we're seeing right now, honestly. Damn, I didn't know about that towel. I didn't know about him, the towel shit. That's crazy. Because the thing is it's not even the fact that he got erect. These massages are probably used to that shit. They probably don't even care. But for you to take off your towel, come on, man. You just gotta know who you are sometimes, and I think that's the issue.
And that's what I'm saying. It's just like you have to. Like, I would just say be extra careful. Dudes just like sometimes. Let me not say dudes. Sometimes people think it's like absolute. They say, "Oh, I didn't touch the girl. I didn't sleep with the girl, so I didn't rape her. So what's the problem?" But sexual misconduct is a very, very broad spectrum of things. It's anything that could be deemed sexually inappropriate. You know what I'm saying? And it's just how you manage that. And what you may be comfortable with, she might not be comfortable with as a masseuse, as a massage therapist.
Yeah.
You know, having your, genitals and penis exposed, you might just be another Tuesday for you, but for her, it's like,
the fuck?
Yeah, like,
yeah.
It's not what it is. So
especially if someone with your stature, like you just got to be smart.
That's what I'm saying. And even like some of these, even if some of these that are consensual, just manage that, man. Manage that. Like why are your consensuals getting out of pocket?
Yeah.
why are your consensuals getting out of pocket, man?
Well, what's going on at this?
There's a way you go about that. All right. We let's hit this Paul Pierce one real quick. All right, so Paul Pierce, I Call Game, was on IG Live, living his best life. Well, living a midlife. He was living a normal LA life.
I was gonna say this was like another Friday to this dude.
And on the surface, he wasn't doing anything illegal. He wasn't doing anything inappropriate.
But you work for Disney.
And sometimes, and this is what and I think the lesson that people should learn here is that just because you may think, or pardon me, let me even go back further. The lesson that you learn here is everything ain't for everybody. The only thing that if he didn't pull that phone out, he probably still have a job.
That's true.
He still have a job.
Because nobody around him even pulled their phones out.
You know what I mean? And again, it's not that he necessarily did anything that was illegal, but your phone is out. Like, and this is the thing: you're an NBA player. You think we don't know you? You think we don't think you've been around strippers before?
You think that we think you're a saint?
You think? I mean, not even that. Like, that's not breaking news. Pro athlete surrounded by strippers.
Shit, James Harden funding all
of
Texas.
That's what I'm saying. Like, we're not.
Like,
this is not. This is like this is a Tuesday, bro. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Like, this is very like. That's why I didn't understand it. And maybe in his brain, he's like, well, it's not a big deal because it isn't a big deal. Which is why I don't think. What do you need your phone out for? So he gets fired. There's a lot of pushback because they said, again, he's at home. I'm sure they asked to be. I'm sure he paid him to be there. I'm sure he probably don't give a fuck. But you work for Disney. And a lot of times, even as a public figure, there's a moral clause that's in your contract, which basically is open to interpretation. If you are, it would kind of be like the Deshaun Watson thing. If Paul Pierce was found to be involved in some sort of a story, even if he wasn't directly responsible for it, they could let him go for that. Yeah. The other thing that I think people need to remember is that Paul Pierce was not the best analyst.
No,
you can't tell me.
Not by the
you can't tell me. The other thing you got to remember is just sports is analyst. It's just like sports. You can get in trouble when you produce. When you're Patrick Mahomes, you can have some trippers over. You can have some. We just talked about last year. You could maybe sneak a girl into the hotel.
Yeah.
When you're Patrick Mahomes in the quarantine. When you the nigga that's a rookie.
Your Booger McFarland.
The 50th man on the roster, and you got to dress a girl up in a Seahawks uniform to get her into the room, they getting you up out of there. I saw people try to make the comparison. Well, Shannon Sharp, he's on TV all the time.
I saw that bullshit.
That's
not the same.
With Black and Miles, and I mean, I'll be hen dogs. And all. I'm like, first of all, Shannon Sharp actually brings value to the show. Yeah. Number two, he worked for a different.
He's the headliner of the show.
He works for a different company.
Totally different company.
So that's like apples to oranges.
You're talking about a company that, I mean, come on, bro. They got Tucker Carlson.
I mean,
like
I said, if we put it in sports term, Paul Pierce is like the 10th man off the bench. He's on the jump. Who the fuck watches the jump? He was on the jump. But Rachel Nichols run that. That's her little. She runs that show. You know what I'm saying?
When the last time you and your boys talked about the jump?
That's what I'm saying. Show me what jump take has gone viral. That's all I'm saying. And Paul Pierce, I think he actually got offered a job not long after he got let go. He ain't hurting for nothing. So
if anything, he just got more popular.
Yeah. But he's a fucking loser, so whatever, man.
He could have left it at the fucking. Honestly, he didn't even have to show the stripper. He had to literally go like this. Nobody knew that stripper. If he would have just been smoking, drinking, with the girl playing in his hair, nobody would have cared. It would have been like, whatever.
Which is why either he knew and he didn't care, or he didn't know and he didn't care.
I think he didn't know and didn't care.
Either way, I don't think he really cared. I really don't think.
No, I don't think.
I don't think he was hurt. I don't think he was hurting for ESPN money. I don't think he was hurting for an analyst job. I think he had the job and he was cool with it. And again, I don't think he was like a super great analyst. No. You know, so he won't be missed.
I want Disney, because you know it wasn't ESPN that did it. You know it was Disney. That's the thing. Like, you knew it was Disney the moment he got fired. Like, fuck Disney.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. Like, he's like, come on, man. That's all I'm saying. So the lesson that I think people should learn from this is, if you really care about your job, stay your ass off of IG Live. Yeah. If you don't have dances at your house, just have them at your house. Now, if you don't give a fuck about your job, do whatever you want.
Hell, and if it's not, shit. Man, I'm telling you, people don't know who they are. I don't get it.
Yeah. If you were Shannon Sharp, you can get that off.
Shannon Sharp could have got that off.
Stephen A. could have got that off.
Yeah.
Skip Bayless could have got that thing off with Ernestine in the back.
Yeah.
So, I mean, know who you are. And sometimes in life, people will look the other way when you are a producer.
But when you're a terrible analyst,
when you add no other value to the show, they're not begging for you to come back. They're not really. So that's that. That's that. All right.
Do better. That's the moral of the story. Just do better.
Please. All right. We made it. So we're going to wrap up this week's episode of the Pencil Pushers Project. We thank you all for tuning in. And if you check the description, you will find timestamps for each of the topics below. Also, if you're watching us on YouTube, please leave a like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. We're back in effect. We're back on track. So please be anticipating weekly drops from us. And thank you all for listening. Zay, anything you want to say before we dip out?
Do better.
Stay off IG Live. And if she wildin', take the truck back.
Always repo the Bentley.
Always repo it. All right. We out of here.
All right.
Peace.